We are excited to present to you this action-packed hour-long webinar where we will be reviewing everything you need to know about the SOFIs for 2016. My name is Betsy Schwartz, and I will be your presenter for today's SOFI webinar along with my colleagues, Laura Santella-Sacombe, that's me right there, Betsy, Ian Au in the cute tuxedo, and Alexis Rodriguez. She is our SOFI project manager, and she is the day-to-day SOFI contact. She can be reached at sofiawards@specialtyfood.com or 646-878-0307. So what we're covering today. First, we're going to give you a SOFI overview. Then we're going to go into who and what products are eligible to enter. Why should you enter the Great SOFI Awards? What's new with SOFI for 2016? There's a lot of new and exciting things that we'll be going over. An overview of the judging, how the finalists and winners are announced, a step-by-step review of how to enter, the competition timeline, and then a Q&A at the end of our webinar. Please note, today's call is being recorded. The presentation will last 60 minutes and we'll have a specific Q&A at the end of the session. To ask a question, press the green chat bubble located at the top of your screen and the chat box will appear. Alexis will be monitoring all questions, which we will answer at the end of the webinar. What are the SOFI Awards? For the past 45 years, the SOFIs have honored the best of the best in specialty food. Today, SOFIs represent culinary creativity across America and are often referred to as the Oscars of the specialty food industry. This year, we are expecting 2,800 entries at least, spanning 28 categories. Winners and finalists are selected by a national panel of culinary experts who taste and evaluate every single entry to select the products that truly stand out. Honorees will be featured at the Summer and Winter Fancy Food Show, where they'll draw the attention of media, the industry, and often increase distribution. Who can enter a SOFI? Specialty food members in good standing who have paid their 2016 membership dues in full can enter the SOFIs. No member candidates can enter SOFIs. Please note you do not need to be exhibiting at the Fancy Food Show to enter. What products are eligible to enter? Products must be ready for sale. Products being entered must be in the form a retailer will accept. No mock-ups are allowed. You can submit unlimited entries, but each product can only compete in one category. The exception, you can also enter your product into the new product category and another category if it was introduced to the trade after June 30th, 2015. That's after the Summer Fancy Food Show. For example, if you have 6 jams in your product line, you can enter each of these into the jam category, each as separate entries. In addition, if any of these were introduced to the trade after June 30th, 2015, you can also enter them into the new product category. You should submit your product in the category it fits best into.
So that's me. Hi, everyone. This is Laura Santella, the Chief Marketing Officer of the Association. Welcome. We're so excited to have so many people participating in this record-breaking webinar. So thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us. We hope you will learn a lot of the basics that you need to enter SOFI, and hope that you'll get your questions answered today. If you don't, just remember Alexis is your key contact and she's here to serve you as best as possible, so feel free to reach out to her if you don't get everything answered in the 60-minute window. I just wanted to spend a few minutes talking a little bit about why you should enter SOFI. And just so everyone on the call knows, for all our members, we did a significant amount of research and looked at the SOFIs from start to finish. talk to our members via comprehensive market research, both qualitative and quantitative. Many of you probably remember the survey we sent out where we asked you your opinion about what's working and not working. A number of you participated in focus group research with us as well. So it was very, very rich information that really factored into everything that we're doing this year. So we thank you for your participation and your feedback because it played a critical role in how we redesigned the Sophie Awards this year. So why enter? I think many of you know there are a lot of good reasons. First of all, it's a prestigious award. It's had specialty food status since 1972. The awards are regarded by our buyers and other vendors as the highest honor in the industry. We hear them referred to as the Oscars of the industry. People recognize that we don't give out these awards sparingly. We're very critical in how we measure the products. We put a lot of attention in detail, and hundreds of people don't win these awards. And the trade recognizes how critically important these awards are in terms of prestige and promotion. From a promotion standpoint, we promote to the trade through product sell-in, materials, and industry events. So whenever you are a finalist or a winner, you have the opportunity to take advantage of the promoting that we do throughout the industry in a myriad of different marketing vehicles to draw attention to your honor, whether you're a finalist or a winner. So there's tremendous recognition that comes with that. As part of our marketing plan, hundreds of millions of media impressions take place. We put the news out there, and a number of people within the industry then become familiar with the Sophie Awards, the honorees, and really become familiar with their products. So there's a lot of recognition, and we've heard a lot of our members tell us that from a sales perspective, there are a lot of bragging rights with bottom line impact. We want to make sure that everybody is aware that you need to dial in via the phone to listen to the audio. We're getting some messages that maybe people can't hear the audio, so please dial in via phone to listen to the audio. Okay, so now that we've talked a little bit about why enter Sophie, let's talk a little bit about the new Sophie Awards process. And again, I mentioned that this was based on member feedback, both qualitative and quantitative. A significant amount of research and time was put into this to really understand what was working and not working from a member perspective. We also had an opportunity to speak to members of the trade as well and get their perspective as buyers and members of the industry as to what this award means and what they felt was working and not working, which allowed us to fine-tune the competition. So what's new this year with Sophie? Our goal and bottom line objective is to improve objectivity and appeal by redesigning the competition so that it absolutely appears unbiased, clearer, and simple for all the members. So what does that mean? Well, based on your feedback, here are some of the changes we're going to be making, and we're hoping that you're as excited about them as we are. First and foremost, we will be moving to a blind tasting process, which means the judges will not be seeing packaging or branding. They truly will be trying the product and evaluating on the merits of the product itself. The evaluation today is based on taste, quality, pricing, and packaging. Moving forward, we will only be evaluating on taste and quality. Price and packaging will no longer play a role, and the reason why it will not is because from a pricing perspective, these products are clearly priced at a higher price point more often than not because of the quality of ingredients that you place in the products. And it's very difficult to differentiate on price given the absolute characteristics of this category, particularly when you launch a new product. Everyone knows that it's hard to get the economies of scale that you need to actually make the price point work in your favor. And retail has told us that they don't look at pricing as an evaluation, as have the members. So that's the reason why pricing doesn't play a role. Packaging won't play a role either, simply because, again, packaging is quite subjective. And there are some products that are phenomenal products, but they're not always in the best packaging. They may be in a simple, clear mason jar, but that doesn't mean that they're not special. What is special is truly the taste, the quality, and the eating experience of the product. So we will focus on taste and quality. Taste will be 70%, quality will be 30%. The actual criteria for taste and quality are listed on the sofyawards.com website, which launched yesterday, and you'll be able to see specifically what are the key criteria for each should you have any questions. Secondly, we will absolutely continue to make sure that our judges are culinary and category experts in their fields. They have always been, but there's been some question from the members as to whether or not that was the case. We absolutely make sure that we have culinary and category experts in the field, and in particular categories where appropriate, so that judging is truly done by experts. Next, we will be preparing and serving the foods in the manner in which they are consumed. Well, what does that mean? Historically, in the past, something like, let's say, a rub may have simply been tasted out of the package. We will now be cooking that rub on a meat, whether it's a chicken or a beef or tofu, and all of the rubs will be cooked the same way on the same base product so that the judges actually try the products in the manner in which they would be consumed in the home. Next, we will be fine-tuning our categories. Today, we are at 32 categories. Tomorrow, we will be moving to 28 categories. We will be eliminating food service. There will no longer be the need for a food service category since we are now judging the products on a blind tasting. So again, all products will be evaluated based on their true merits of taste and quality, nothing else. We will be removing the classic category. That won't be necessary either, again, because we're moving to a blind tasting. A judge will not be able to tell if the product was launched 2 years ago or 8 years ago. They will only be evaluating the product on its true merits of taste and quality. We will be eliminating product line, as product line as a category, particularly if a brand has multiple products, is difficult to judge each individual product, so therefore we are eliminating it. We also know that retailers don't typically look at the product line category as a category by which they make their decisions. They look at individual products. And we will also be eliminating frozen savory because last year and previous years we had very few members participating in those categories. So there will be 28 categories. Each of those categories is listed in the sofyawards.com website. It will describe exactly what each category includes and doesn't include, but these 4 will not be there. And over time, through the next several years, I'm sure we'll continue to optimize our categories as we see appropriate. The next thing we will not be doing is eliminating the product feedback. Our members told us that they really didn't get a lot of value from the product feedback, and frankly, the judges don't have a significant amount of time to provide feedback that is of value to the members. Our members have said that they would prefer to get product feedback in other ways through the association, but through this process, it really wasn't very helpful for the members. Therefore, we would rather have the judges spend more time evaluating your products and making the best decisions possible on winners and finalists. The next thing we'll be doing is we will be launching a new rule which states that the same item cannot win 2 consecutive years. So if you win this year, you cannot enter that item next year. And the reason why we're doing this is, again, to address the concern from our members that they feel oftentimes many of the same products win over and over again. By eliminating pricing and packaging, by instituting blind tasting, and by evaluating the product on its true merits of taste and quality, we are able to achieve the goal of making this unbiased, clearer, and simple. And therefore, the same product cannot win 2 years in a row. So if your product wins this year, you cannot put it into the competition for next year. Of course, I'm sure many of you have a multitude of SKUs in your product line that are worthy of a sofi, so you can always enter another product. This year, what will also change is there will be no voting at the show. As everyone knows, in years past, we announced the finalists, and then we took the finalist products to the Fancy Food Show, and we had the industry vote on the products at the show. We are changing this because we found that many people did not have the opportunity to vote during the show, so we didn't really get the representative sample of the industry that we were hoping for the final vote. And we believe that the best judges to make that final decision are the culinary and category experts, the people in the field that truly understand these products and how to evaluate them. So the voting will take place here at our SAFE offices during the actual evaluation process. The judges will identify the finalists, and then at the same time, while they are here during the 2-week process, in the last several days, they will vote on the winners. And finally, what else is changing this year is that we will not actually have a ceremony at the show. Since the winners will be selected prior to the show here at our offices, and Betsy will take you through the timeline and how we announce that, there really is no need to have a very specific SOFI ceremony at the show, since winners will be announced prior to the show. The reason why we want to announce winners prior to the show is, again, we have the judges here who are doing all of the selecting. And secondly, because by finding out that you're a finalist or winner prior to the show really allows you the opportunity to leverage your win at the show. Historically in the past, our members told us that they spent much of the time at the show pitching their product to people who might vote and asking them to vote for their product. If you're a finalist or winner, now you can come to the show with your trophy and spend those 3 days at the show really leveraging your honor, which is much better time spent for the members. The members also told us that they'd rather for us to find other ways at the show to honor their products. And we'll take you through some examples of how we're going to be doing that shortly. So what else is new this year? As I just mentioned, the finalists and winners will be announced on May 25th prior to the Summer Fancy Food Show. That's exactly 4 weeks prior. Our judges will be at our offices for a 2-week period at the beginning of May evaluating all of the products. They will determine who the finalists and winners are during that 2-week period. Then there will be a lag time, and then we will actually announce the finalists and winners on May 25th prior to the show. Again, to allow you to leverage your win at the show effectively with the trade. The announcement will be made via a variety of different ways: a press release and press outreach, through social media, through trade print advertising, through trade outreach and video promotion. So we have a comprehensive marketing communications plan that will absolutely and effectively announce both the winners and the finalists on May 25th. And that announcement will continue over the next several weeks as we enter into the Summer Fancy Food Show. So we will continue to keep the announcements and the excitement around the finalists and winners alive between May 25th and the start of the show. Then at the show, in replacement of the SOFI ceremony, which has been the traditional ceremony, we'll have a number of multifaceted celebrations throughout the show. We will be celebrating SOFI at the opening night party, through the SOFI Awards Showcase, through a press and buyer meet and greet event at the show, and through a number of fun SOFI-themed activities. All of this will become more evident as we send announcements out to our members over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to hand it over to Betsy to talk about how the SOFI judging works.
Okay, so how the SOFI judging works. The judging takes place over a 2-week period at our offices. We'll have at least 40 expert food professionals, including chefs, culinary experts, academics, food writers, and category buyers. As Laura stated before, the judging will take place strictly on a blind basis. That's without packaging, pricing, and other identification, to ensure all entries are judged solely on taste and quality. Judges will only know the product type and its ingredient list. The judging criteria, as we stated before, consists of taste, 70%, and that is taste is judged by evaluating a product's flavor, appearance, texture, and aroma, and how these qualities all really come together. The quality, which is 30%, ingredient quality, this is an evaluation of a product's ingredients with consideration given to the use of ingredients in creative ways. All products will be prepared and heated or cooked according to the producer's instructions, and present to the judges as for tasting. At our offices over the 2-week period, we will then narrow down these 2,800 entries down to 100 finalists and 28 winners. How are you going to know if you're going to win? So the finalists and the winner announcement, as we stated before, will happen on May 25th. That's 4 weeks before the summer show. And we will email you. We will email all finalists and winners via email. The trophies will be awarded to members attending the summer show. Details to follow. If you are not attending the show, don't worry. Trophies will be mailed to you. We will make arrangements. And now I'll hand it over to Ian Au, who will take you through the timeline and a step-by-step of how to enter the SOFIs online.
Hello. So we are very excited that this year we're able to streamline our SOFI process. So the application and also the work that would take were much more simple to encourage as many members to product as many products as possible. So it is a very simple 3-step process. Step 1, and a lot of members have already done this already, is to complete the online application. And it's only a 2-page application. It's very simple. In a minute, I will walk you through the application so you know exactly what to put in the form. Step 2 is submit payment. Again, this is also very simple. All you need is a credit card or a debit card. And you can do it right on the application. And once you do that, step 3 will ask you to send product samples enough for the blind tasting to be done in SFA offices. So a quick walkthrough of the timeline. So right now, the entry period is officially open, and it will last until April 15th. So you have 3 weeks to finish and complete your online application and also send in your product. So the second timeline that you want to look at is in these 3 weeks, we will also need you to send in your product sample. So if you're sending shelf-stable product samples, it can come anytime between now and April 15th. And as far as how many, we get questions about how many samples should I send. So we have, at any given period, we will have about 15 judges doing all the judging. So think about how many you need to have enough samples for 15 tastings. So our recommendation is usually 2 packages of 2 jars should be enough for 15 samples for tasting in our office. If your product is perishable, so right here, we'd like you to send your products between April 11th and April 15th. Why is that? It's so that we can keep your product fresh in a refrigerator and in our freezer. And again, May 25th will be the announcement, and then in June at the Summer Fancy Food Show will be the great celebration for all the winners and finalists and the industry for the SOFI Awards. So now I'm going to walk you through how to do an online application, and it will be it will be a very simple process. So just give me a minute because I have to I have to go online and bring up an application. Now, so it's very simple. So what you would do, your portal and to anything SOFI, all your questions can be answered in this website, which is sofiawards.com. So all you need to just type in awards.com, and you will see this is the web page that you can enter. So first of all, let me show you what the website, how you navigate through the website. So you can see we have a home page, and we have some information about SOFI, and the information on categories, benefits. There's a frequently asked questions category, and if you scroll down, we also have some testimonials of past winners, finalists, and also from members of the trade that really attest to the value of the SOFI Awards. So up here, you can see on the top hand side, on the top menu, over here, under SOFI Awards, you can read about the categories, benefits, and past winners. So I'm going to take you quickly, this will be a very, very useful feature. If you click on here, then as Laura said, this is where you can find in detail what products you should include in each category, if any questions. So we have very detailed explanation to show you what product belongs to the appetizer, for example, and so you can really see exactly what product you need to put in the categories so that you will make the right choice. And if you want to read more about judging, you can click here. This is talk about the timeline. And also, this is very detailed instructions on how to enter. And again, it is a very simple 3-step process, as I just talked about. So if you have questions, you can click on here to contact us. And also very important is if you go down on here, you can click on FAQ, Frequently Asked Questions. And there are a lot of questions, commonly asked questions, so you have about the Sophie Awards. They can all be answered here. And if you still feel like there are questions, you have very specific questions, you are always welcome to contact us at sophiawards.com, sophieawards@specialty.com, or call this number. Alexis will field all your questions and answer them as quickly as possible. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to walk you over the application process. So once you figure out what product you want to enter, and all you need to do is just go up here and click Enter Now. Okay, so you click here. And the first thing that we do, that we will ask, is for you to log in. So the login process is extremely simple. It's the exact same login as specialtyfood.com. So you don't have to have a new login. So for example, here, this will be my login. So I do my login. It already remembers who I am. The password. Just takes 1 second, I guess, because a lot of people are applying. That's probably why it takes a second. So here, go to this process, which is the online entry application. So here, for example, it will automatically shows your information. So here you will see it will automatically shows your company and your contact information. So for example, I'm doing it. This is obviously just a mock-up. So I'm going to say this is me, my contact information. If you need to change any of this contact information, you can enter it right here. And also, if there's another person in your company that should be receiving Sophie Awards information, you can just click here and say yes, and then you can put the contact information. But right now, I'm just going to say no. So this is the first page, and you click Save, and see all the information being saved. And here is when you can put your product information that you want to enter. So right now in front of me, I'm going to do a live demo because I actually have a winning product from 2015. So I'm going to do it right now as a sample. So actually I have in my hand right now a Fat Toad Farm caramel sauce, which was one of the winners last year. So I'm going to use this as a demo. So right here, very simple. I put the product name, and here it says exactly as it appears on the package. So I'm going to put Fat Toad Farm caramel salted bourbon, right? And here we ask for you to put the product name again, but this time without the brand name and company name. Why? This is so that in the blind judging, all the judges will only see is without the brand to preserve the fairness of the process. So all the judges will see for your product will be caramel salted bourbon. This is to make sure that the process is completely blind. So here, this is a question. Is this brand name different than a company name? 90% of our members, the company name is exactly the same as the brand name. But sometimes, for example, if a lot of the distributor members, they might have multiple brands. So if that's different, you will click yes and put the brand name of this particular product. If not, then just leave it at no. And here we ask your product, we ask for the date where this product is being introduced. So again, if this product is introduced after June 30th, 2015, then this product will be eligible in the new product category. So this product, because it's not a new product, so I'm just pick a date from, so let's say this is the date. And here you will put your product description. So again, I'm going to do a live test right now. I'm going to do very simple. So I'm going to say, hair with ice cream, bake, free, apple slices, etc. Okay? So you got the idea. And here, this is where you pick the category. So if you're not sure about what category, you can click here, and then it will open up a window that shows the category list. But here, I'm pretty sure this is caramel. So I'm going to look for this. This is all the 28 categories. So this one, caramel, should be a dessert sauce and topping. So I click right here. And then here there will be another question that asks you just to describe in further detail what subcategory this product will fall into. So I'll just say spread syrup, and I'll say dessert topping. And here there's a question for the barcode. If you want to see a sample of the barcode, and this is what the barcode looks like, right? So here I put the barcode, which is 8541. Okay, and you can put a suggest retail price. And also, this is a very important part of the entry, which is the ingredient list. And we ask you to put the ingredients exactly as it appears on the product package, because the judges will look at your ingredient list as part of the judging criteria. So I'm just going to put the ingredients right now exactly as it appears on the package. So it says nothing but goat's milk, pure cane sugar, Kentucky bourbon. Okay, sorry. I need to learn how to type again. Kentucky straight. Okay, you got the idea. All right, so we just list exactly as it appears. And here as it is entry a perishable product. So this is obviously shelf stable, so I would say no. And here we ask you to upload a product image, because this product image will be used for two purposes. One, it will be used on the product marketplace and specialty.com, and also if your product turns out to be a winner and finalist, then this photo will also show up on the winners and finalists gallery. Okay? So at this point.
Hi, this is Laura, everybody. I just want to add a couple of comments on this page. So what's absolutely critical is that when you enter your ingredient list, it's exactly as you see it on your ingredients label in the back. The actual statement itself, word for word, should be listed here. That's critical to evaluating the ingredients of the product, because we are not putting a label or package in front of the judges. So it's important that they have the full list of ingredients exactly as it appears on your label. That's key. Secondly, even though we ask you for the suggested retail price, the judges are not privy to that. That will not be part of the assessment. Again, it's only taste and quality. We're simply asking for that information for our records. Nothing more, nothing less than that. And then also, if you have any questions about what is the brand name versus the product description versus the company name, if you're not certain, please feel free to reach out to Alexis or to someone on the team, but send all your questions directly to her. We'll make sure that it's very clear, because we want to make sure that you're entering that information as accurate as possible. So, every question is an important question. If you feel uncomfortable with answering anything here, please reach out to us to make sure that you're clear.
Thank you, Laura. So I did exactly like she told me. So for this particular sample, this is the entire ingredient list. So nothing more, nothing less, exactly as it is, separated by a comma. So after this part, I'm going to hit save just to make sure that all my work is saved, nothing is lost. So it says information saved. And then let's say this is the only entry. Obviously, you're encouraged to enter as many entries as you can, but each entry can only go into one category except for new product. So for demonstration purpose, I'm going to say I'm done here. I'm ready to pay. I'm going to say add to cart. See information saved. And it will take you to this page. And this is your payment page, right? So I review again. This is what I need. So each entry is $75. So you have a unique code. So now I think I'm done. I'm going to click here. If you want, you can print your entries for your record keeping purpose, but you don't need to because everything will be saved in your system. But I'm going to go check out.
Now, there is a discount code on that page for those people who responded to our registration. If everyone recalls, in January, both at the show and via email, we sent out an announcement about the new and improved SOFI Awards. And for those who pre-registered during a short window of time, as part of that promotion, you got a discount off of the $75. That discount code is what you would type in there if you pre-registered during that time period.
And that discount code was actually sent to you already twice, so you should have received that. 3 times, sorry.
Okay, so check out. Thank you for the clarification. So here, pay. And then we accept Visa, Master, and American Express. So I'm not going to do this part, but once you get this, it will go through. And once you finish this process, what you will see is in 5 minutes, you will receive a confirmation email to let you know that you have already completed step 1, online application, step 2, payment, and you will receive an email that looks like this. Let me show you. Okay. Give me a minute. I'm trying to put it out. So you will receive an email confirmation that looks like this from the SOFI Awards. This is your invoice. So it will tell you next step is to submit your product sample, and has very detailed information about when, how. So at this point, this is the demo, and I think this is pretty straightforward. If you have any questions about the process, if we have stumped in any way, please type it in the chat box, and we will answer your questions.
One thing I wanted to just point out is that if you do have a perishable product or a refrigerated or frozen product, you need to label that on the front of the box. That's so we know when all the product boxes come in, which ones really need to be refrigerated and which ones need our attention and care right away. Okay, so now we're going to go and we're going to answer some of your questions.
All right, so there was a question at the very beginning about new products. So one person asked, do companies place the product under the category, for example, pasta, instead of new product, even if the product is new? So Betsy, do you want to take that? Or do you get it?
You can either enter it in new product, or you could enter it into pasta.
Right, and I think maybe the confusion is about when you submit and you choose new product as your category, you do have to choose under new category exactly what it's in. So you'll say new category, and under new category it's in pasta, and et cetera.
There'll be a subcategory. So your first thing you'll pick is new product. That's your category you're entering, and then when you hit new product, you'll have different categories. You'll have the 28 different categories it can then be entered into within new product.
Yeah, but it is important. I know that this might be a point of confusion. I want to make this absolutely clear. If you have a new product, you are encouraged to enter into both the new product category And in this example, for example, the pasta sauce, and this is the only exception that we will allow each product or one product to enter into two categories, meaning you can enter into both new product or the pasta sauce category.
Yeah, and just in terms of entering products, a few just popped up on that topic. So how many entries are you allowed? You're allowed an unlimited number of entries, but each entry can only be submitted into one category unless it's a new product.
So if it was a pasta that you just launched, one entry would be for pasta category, and then you'd have to do a second entry for new product category.
Right, and then, but each entry will be $75. So in this case, it will be $150 because it's considered you are entering into two different categories, both pasta sauce and new product. And obviously, if you have another flavor of pasta sauce, you can also enter that, and that would be considered a third entry.
Right, and so moving on to a different topic, we'll answer all of the product-related questions or the entry-related questions in a document that'll be sent to you. But moving on to recipe questions. So one person asked, do we send one recipe per product? And then a follow-up question was, how would you like us to submit the cooking instructions?
We will prepare everything according to how the instructions are on the pack. So we will follow the directions that you have on pack, and that's how our chefs will make each product.
If for some reason there are no directions on pack, we don't imagine that's the case, but we will contact you or feel free to put it within the package, but we will absolutely contact you because we do need that information.
So moving on, do the products need to be sent in blank packages, or can they have their original package with original branding or labeling?
The product should be sent in the original package because what we will do behind the scene in times for judging is we will set out your product in a very nice way. We will just put them into like blank dishes in front of the judge. So all the judge will see is the food and a number, and then on the iPad, they use iPad to judge. They can see the product name without the brand. They see the ingredient list, and that's how they would judge. So behind the scene, we will do all the work to ensure that this is a blind judging process. But you can just send sample exactly
as
the original package. We will do all the preparation behind the scene in time for judging.
Can online entries be edited once entered before the April 15th deadline?
Okay, so you can submit. Once you hit submit and you pay for the entry, you cannot edit it. However, if you absolutely need to, please call the Sophie Awards hotline, and we'll be able to unlock the entry for you so that you can then go in and edit it.
Obviously, that is kind of an exception. We don't want, yeah.
But you can save your entries and not add them to the cart and come back a day later, open them up, edit them. But once you add to cart, then the only way it can be edited is if we do it.
Exactly.
So another question is, can you elaborate on the 4 categories being eliminated?
Okay, I guess I can take that one since I'm the one that brought that up. So first of all, let's talk about food service. Food service as a category was created because there are a number of products that are sold at food service that are not sold in a specialty marked package. So therefore, that category was created so it allowed products within that particular category to be evaluated separately. And it was really driven because food service products have a very unique packaging, much more mass appeal than the standard specialty food premium pack. Because we are moving to a blind tasting, we no longer need a food service category. 99% of the products that our members enter are retail-ready products, and secondarily, they are food service marketable. So if they're available at retail, you can submit it as a retail product. It won't be evaluated in its package. It will just be evaluated based on taste and quality in a blind format. So therefore, food service as a category is no longer needed because we're taking packaging completely out of the mix as we are taking pricing. But food service was created at the time because we did not have a blind tasting and we wanted to be fair to that category.
And if I can add to that, we absolutely encourage all our members to enter products that are designed for food service. So food service products are absolutely welcome. You will just enter into the category that it fits. So for example, if this is a cooking sauce, then it will go into the cooking sauce category. If this is honey, they will go to the honey category.
In terms of the classic category, so the classic category was designed, again, because we didn't have blind tasting and we didn't have criteria such as taste and quality, which were paramount. We had multiple criteria. So classic had been designed to give an opportunity to brands that had been in the category for a very long time. Not newer brands, but brands that were seasoned brands. And oftentimes the feedback we got from members was that it was difficult for those seasoned brands to compete versus newer brands, particularly when the judges saw the packaging. They knew that it was a brand that had been around for quite some time. So the classic category was created to help celebrate the brands that had been in the category for a long time. That is no longer needed, again, if the brands are not being evaluated on the brand name and the packaging. Because it's blind and all you see is the product and the ingredients and you're tasting for taste components and quality, then the classic category is no longer necessary because every brand, whether you're a new member or you've been a brand for 35 years and successful, has an opportunity to now win a Sophie because there's no judgment placed on your brand name, your packaging, how long you've been in business, how new you are. The judges simply won't know that. They'll literally evaluate you on the merits of your product. Product line. Now, product line was one of those things where if you had a product line of 12 products, you would send in 3 products. We'd evaluate those 3 products, and then we'd make, we'd sort of base the decision if those 3 products were the best of your product line, that meant all of your products within the product line were worthy of an honor. Product line, first of all, to evaluate that many products is extremely time-consuming. And when we talked to the trade told us they typically aren't going to take a full product line of products. So if you're a brand with 6, 7, 8 SKUs, if one SKU wins a Sophie, the trade doesn't necessarily pick up every SKU within the product line. They're interested in the winning SKUs. So therefore, we felt because it's time-consuming, because we cannot evaluate every single product in your product line when you have that many SKUs, to use 2 or 3 products as a judgment across an entire product line is not fair. Therefore, the best thing to do is to eliminate product line and simply evaluate the individual products in their categories or as a new product or as both. The reason why we eliminated frozen savory is literally we had a handful of entries every single year we could count on our right hand. Very small number of entries. So therefore, we felt that we should spend our energy evaluating categories where the majority of our members are submitting their entries. Now recognize that we still have 28 categories, and this is an evolution. We can continue to add and subtract categories over the next several years as we continue to evolve the Sophie Awards process and as we learn more about growing categories, what our members are doing, et cetera. This is just a starting point. But we feel that this can evolve and grow over time where we can continue to fine-tune the categories and add and maybe even subtract based on participation. So I hope that's answered the question. If it hasn't, again, feel free to reach out to Alexis Rodriguez directly via email or phone, and we can continue to have the conversation around categories.
Now, so I know we are now at the 2:50 mark, and this webinar is supposed to be 45 minutes. So this is what we will do, is we will continue answering questions for another 15 minutes. But if you feel like you need to get off the phone, have some other engagement, you certainly understand. But we will continue to answer questions in the next 10, 15 minutes because we have actually a lot of very good questions that we want to get to.
All right, so here are 2 questions that I can kind of answer at the same time. So can you enter more than one product in the same category? So the answer to that is yes, you can. And then the follow-up question is each product evaluated separately or ranked? So multiple entries would be competing against each other. So let's say you have different flavors of jam and you want to enter that category, then yes, each entry will be one flavor, and that will be $75. If you enter more than one, they will be competing against each other. And this is a blind tasting, so there will be no connection. And then, let's see. So someone else asked if they need to send anything to mix their product with, so going along the lines of the ingredients and the recipes. And no, you do not. We will be providing the extra ingredients, I suppose. Yeah. Sorry?
Whatever the ingredients that need to be mixed into the product, we will have here, and if we don't have it here, we will make sure we do.
Exactly. Yeah. So, for example, for baking mix, we will obviously, buy, the best quality eggs, any kind of oil that needs, and we have a professional culinary team of 3 people that spends 3 weeks cooking and prepping all the sofi entries to the best quality for judging. And we do this every year.
Another question, will the press buyer meet and greet include retailers?
Yes, so that will. We will be extending an invitation to our press list as well as to the retailers that come to the show to make it democratic for everyone to be present. We will have to limit the number of people that can be at this event simply because of size of the room. So the first X number of press and retail that respond will be invited. Of course, we expect, high-quality press and high-quality retail to attend the event as they do at the show. So you can be rest assured that you, as a finalist and winner, will have access to key members of both press and the trade industry that attend the show.
Another question, what if we prefer the product to be prepared using a specific oil, but that is not listed in the directions on the package? Can we specify our preference of cooking / additional ingredient methods? So I think, or do you want to take this, Betsy?
We usually don't make exceptions because we like to prepare the product according to how it is exactly stated on the label, because that's how the consumer and the retailers and everybody else who's going to be buying your product will be making it.
So if something is made with a vegetable oil in baking, the consumer would be purchasing any brand of vegetable oil unless, of course, you've stated on the ingredient list that they should be utilizing a certain type of vegetable oil. So we're assuming if your recipe or cooking instructions are accurate, that the product should taste equally as well with one brand versus another.
Okay, so another question is, will nut oils and olive oils be judged in separate categories?
They're all in the oil category. However, they will be judged in separate sections.
Yeah, and the reason that we have to group all the oils in one category, this is really for logistical purpose, so that we will not have category that is too narrow or category that is too large. So we decided to just have one category, which is oil, for this year.
Another question, can we submit items that rolled out 2 years ago for the 2016 awards? And yes, absolutely.
Yes, but this product, obviously, if it's introduced 2 years ago, you can enter product, that introduced
20 years ago.
Yeah, so long as it's still available in the market on food service or retail. But obviously, if it's 2 years ago, it won't be eligible in new product, but it will be eligible in any other category that it fits.
Yeah, and here's a follow-up question. Can a brand win 2 years in a row, but just not a specific product within that brand? So, for example, we use the Fat Toad Bourbon Caramel, so that can't win this year, but then the question is, can the coffee caramel flavor win? And the answer is absolutely yes.
That's a great example. The only rule that we have to make sure that the same product doesn't mean it's the same product that won gold in 2015 will not be eligible, but it's of a different flavor, then that is certainly eligible. And finalists from 2015 can enter the same product again. So we are only excluding the 32 winners from 2015 because these products have already won gold last year.
One member asked if they can bring the product directly to the offices rather than shipping in. And, yep.
Sure, that's great. We're actually open from 9 to 5. You can drop it off any day during the week.
Friday.
9 to 5.
And you can just, when you drop it off, you can just ask for Alexis.
So does rebranding a product make like an old product count as a new product?
If you've changed, and it depends on what you mean by rebranding, but a new product is something that's new in distribution, never sold at the store, now it's new and available at the store. So if it's the same product, but instead of Betsy's jam, it's now Laura's jam, but the product was still in distribution, it's not considered to be a new product. A new product is something that just hit the shelves that wasn't there before.
And then, let's see. So do you have to attend the Summer Fancy Food Show in order to enter the Sophie Awards? And nope, definitely not.
Nope.
The two things are independent.
Yeah, those are two different member, I guess, benefits.
Activities, yes.
And will the tasting literally be blind? Many products, even when out of the packaging, can be clearly identified by the brand, or by brand.
Yeah, we're going to make sure that the product is not recognizable however we can. You know, I know sometimes chocolate has a stamp. We'll make sure we break it up enough so that you can't know which chocolate it is that you're tasting, but the judges will not be blindfolded. That would just be too hard.
Yeah, they might quit before they...
we will do our absolute utmost to make sure that, you know, we do not tip the hand of the judges.
Right.
So you know, for this example, if there's a stamp on the chocolate, we'll break it up so that it's not, or if, let's say, if it's a tea bag, we'll make sure, you know, that the tag is masked so you cannot look at the tea bag and understand the brand. So we'll do absolute what we can to make sure not to tip the hands of the judges. And we'll make sure to ask the judges to make sure, you know, to understand this is a blind process to be as fair as possible.
And some people have asked how many samples they need to send. So we ask for 15 samples, small samples. So that can be, if your product is in a package or a box, that's 2 packages or 2 boxes. And if it's in a jar, that usually means 2 jars. And so some more questions that we're getting in, let's see. Why do we need to submit the barcode and retail price if those factors are not being judged? And can the product picture be submitted at a later date? So the barcode and retail price is just for our information. That won't be used in the judging at all. And then the product picture,
the reason that we ask for the product picture is because we have a product marketplace on specialtyfood.com, and one of the benefits of being a member is that your product information will automatically get synced to this product marketplace. You do not need to upload a product, but it's to your advantage, product shot, but it's to your advantage because the website is viewed by hundreds of thousands of retailers and people part of the industry. So and we highly recommend that you do upload a photo.
And we try to take advantage of the Sophie Awards process to get as much information about our members as possible so the product marketplace is accurate. So we use it as a data collection method. So the more that you can send us, the more accurate you'll represent yourself on the product marketplace. And to Betsy's point, there's a big enough audience that is scanning that marketplace for products and getting to know our members' products. So it's important that it's updated.
And the reason that we ask for barcodes is often we get requests from big retailers for the barcode number for the finalists and winning products, because it's a lot easier for them to just have those. So that's why we ask for it. We don't sell it. We don't do anything with it.
Yeah. So I just put up on the screen, if you haven't been to the website, if you click on product, this is a product marketplace. So once you enter Sophie Awards, when you upload a picture and your product will be automatically synced in this product marketplace for a lot, thousands of people that are in the trade, buyers to see. So this is just one example. Okay.
So we got another question. For flavored coffee, will the judges add sugar or cream if that's how they drink it, or will it be black?
It'll be black.
It will be served black.
And hot.
Yes.
That's very important.
And then one person said that they pre-registered but never received their code. So just contact me, Alexis, at sophieawards@specialtyfood.com, and I have access to that.
It's possible that it was sent to one of your colleagues and not you, but if you let us know, we'll make sure you receive your $10 off coupon code again.
So, and then one person wants clarification on the samples. So should we send enough samples for 15 judges or for 40 judges? So you'll be sending for 15 judges.
So the reason that there are a total of 40 judges, however, the judges are broken up into at least 2 groups. So the group that will be tasting your product is 15 judges. And that's what you should send samples for.
And then, so I've personally, at the email address, I've received a lot of questions about categories and which product or which category your product fits into. So I would take a look at the FAQ section on the website first, because that is pretty comprehensive and it has examples. And then, if that doesn't work, then you can definitely reach out to me and I'll help you with that.
Yeah, and also if you go to, again, sophieawards.com, if you go to this page right here, go to categories, and we have very, very detailed and comprehensive information on what goes under each category, what is included, what's not included. And this, you can do a search. I think this will be probably one of your best resources if you're unsure. If you are still not sure and understand that might happen, send an email to us, call us, and we advise you what is the best category.
And so I just got a question from Martha. Hi, Martha. So 1 16-ounce jar should suffice, correct? And yes, that's correct. If you want to be safe, maybe 2, but 1 should be fine.
And in the rare circumstance where we do not have enough product sample, we will contact you and make sure, again, that your product will be served in the best light for judging. That will be enough sample. But most of the time, we actually have more samples than we need, and we end up donating a lot of the unused samples to charity and food pantry.
And so I think we're getting a few more specific questions about whether or not the packaging is enough. And you can just send those via email to me, and I'll take a closer look at that. So the next question is a 12-ounce box of pasta with over 15 pieces enough? I'd say no for that one. I think you do need to send more for that. But definitely email me and I'll get back to you. And I guess the last question that we've been receiving quite a bit are, do you need to be a member? How do you become a member? And I think this might get a little confusing because distributors, the distributor can enter for you. You don't necessarily need to be a member, but your distributor needs to be a member. And I think 90% of the time, you are the member.
Yeah, just note, if your distributor wins, then they get the benefits. They're the ones who are listed as the winner. So if you are interested in becoming a member, then you can contact Alexis, and she can direct you to the right person.
So at this point, we managed to answer all your questions. These are all very good questions, and I'm sure at some point as you go through the process, something may come up. Definitely let us know. So we highly, highly encourage you to go to sofieawards.com today and enter as many products as you like. And we love to see as many as great a competition this year. We hope we will have the best Sophie Awards this year after all the work that we plan to revamp the whole process.
This webinar will be online at sofiawards.com. So if you'd like to send this to somebody, or if somebody would like to review this at another time, it will be there for you to review and to listen to.
Thank you so much, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.